Chokey artichokey. After while crocodile. I don't see my fucking channel. Crap. So I'll do this because Matt is talking. Hey, buddy. I don't hear anything you're saying. Okay, my volume is up. Go out and come back in. Maybe it'll work. Please. I like spaghetti too. Fred! Oh my gosh, Fred, how have you been? It's good to see you. Matt, I am not messing with you. I seriously can't hear you. Well, I'm glad you're getting it off your chest, whatever it is. I love that. It was like a StreamYard faux pas, and then all of a sudden we can hear you, and I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. Anyway. Bud. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Your lighting was like really good for a second. It had like a nice warm hue to it. Fred, how have you been, my man? I've not seen you or Lene in 1,000 Sundays. It feels like 1,000 or a month worth of 1,000 Sundays, even though that's math's not there. But it's been a long time. You know what I'm saying. So, oh, there I am. Ta-da. So I'm just gonna play bad lip reading with Matt. That refuses to refresh or put his camera into what do we call that? Landscape. And I said, what about this meatball? If something's wrong, like that I can't hear you on this end, but you're coming out through the YouTube side, please tell me like in a private chat, but I don't feel like that's the problem. But I don't know. Nope. I saw your lips moving a bunch over there and nothing came out. I have closed caption, but that works when there's actually sound. But hit the refresh. Is it a full moon tonight, Fred? Oh, well, no wonder. I'm like half normal. What's up, Play Up, dude? How you been? Your boobies are looking very nice. Good for you. Joe T, you should come up. I guess it'd help if I would pin a link because that's what a smart person would do. Biggity, bam, bam, bam. Paste. Oh, I got you, friend. Why are you crying? gonna work this time. You're here.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You know that?
Hardly.
Every single time. It's every single time, somehow you guys trick me into kicking me out. Every single time. Whether it's you, the girl with the tarot card, whether it's that fucking lesbian looking girl guy who does the drink it Sam, who drinks the alcohol for his website or whatever.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, man.
Every single time, you guys treat me like a third-class citizen.
Nope.
And it's not proper.
Back in the day on the coin channels, we had that one guy. His name was Pat. I can give you receipts. But he would come and we couldn't hear him every freaking time. Joe, how are you doing, sir?
Hello, Hoover. How you doing? And hello, Linus. Mr. Man, how you doing, sir?
How you doing, brother? How you doing,
My
man?
mom died, bro. My mom died today.
I'm so sorry.
It wasn't that cool. It wasn't that cool. It was bad. But I'm okay. I'm okay. I had to make my kids feel better, you know, like because their grandma died. You know what I mean? So I had to have them understand. I had to have them understand that, like, it's worse on me, and you know, and like, so everything's okay. Bit of deflection. How are you guys doing? What's going on?
It was like make them feel bad for you instead of worrying about themselves.
That's a good trick.
Okay, that's what I thought you were
driving. What were you guys talking about?
I was talking about how I just like redid my kitchen. I got like these marble fucking countertops, and I wanted to do a bunch of blow off of it.
That's true. We were talking about that earlier. So that's why people that want to have fun shouldn't have kids because it costs more because you have the babysitter. You need to go somewhere else to do it and keep your wife.
Or you gotta share. Or
not to.
Yeah.
Or and you don't even get to use that nice marble countertop. So why did you buy it in the first place? So it's like
blow on it. That's what I fucking bought it.
Because you wanted it to be nice. That's why.
We are part of population control.
Linus is going to get a new phone, and we're going to hear much better and see much clearer, right?
On Friday, I'm getting a new phone. I swear to God. On Friday.
I believe you.
I was like, do you have a cover on your phone? Because, you know, sometimes I don't like.
It's just all shattered. I got fucking pews in my fucking where the speaker's at. Like,
you must have it up in the mouth.
Fucked, man.
Microphone, you know, too.
Friday, it'll be like I'm a new man.
Yeah.
You know, with my new $60 phone.
I'm telling you, those J Labs for like $25-$30.
I don't know about those J Labs.
On them's really long. You could wear one at a time, so that even, you know, extends the life even more. Like you'll get your $25 out.
I definitely don't want that. I definitely don't fucking end it as soon as possible.
You know what? I mean, my husband has these fucking Bose things. I hate them. I don't like them.
Fugazi.
Like the battery doesn't last as long, and it's got like that you can hear through it thing. So the dog's barking. It's like meow, meow. It messes with you. I'm like, I don't need that.
Oh no.
I need ones when I fall asleep. They fall to my ear. If the dog eats them, I don't feel bad about it. Like I rented them. You know, I got my money's worth. Just saying.
Do you wear like earpods or something like that?
Me?
Yeah.
Normally I do, but all of mine have been eaten by the dog.
Right.
I can't find one pair of them right now. They're missing in action. I mean, they're in there. And it's funny. It's the first pair I had. Like, it doesn't have the, like, closed top on it. There's just, like, an open one. Those suckers have lasted. I would drop them in puddles. Like, whatever. I've been cleaning them out and poked the little, like, I don't know what that sheer black, buffer is between the speaker. Basically, that's so crap doesn't get in there. I pulled that out with a toothpick when I was trying to clean it out. And then dropped it in the puddle again. They still work. And I'm like, I think I've had those suckers for like 3 years.
Damn.
They're just the lucky pair of earbuds, I guess, because the other ones I put after they're like, I'd fall asleep like this and then one fall in my ear and the dog's lick at it. Oh, well. But that's what I'm saying. Cost versus, the time you get to use them. For me, that's totally worth it in comparison to like, oh, I must have the Bose that are like $160. I'm like, I walked outside with those the other day and one fell out of my ear 2 minutes after I started mowing the yard. I was like, nope, bad idea.
Well, your first mistake was not calling a fucking man named Julio or Umberto to come mow your yard for you and giving him $40.
Well,
I
didn't want to jump on the why were you fucking mowing your yard yourself?
Well, why are you doing
that? But he did.
That's not about my sexual frustration, but I'm like,
that's like third world shit.
My yard.
But mowing your yard, dude, that's like third world shit. Like nobody like human beings don't do that. You know what I mean?
So I had
you do it with a scissor. You do it with a scissor.
I had a COVID weight, and I mean, not this like a huge feat or something, but I lost 15 pounds in the past year, so at least I wasn't trying to do it because I'm like, motherfucker, I like pasta.
You probably lost 12 pounds in the last 3 months. I've seen you. You know what I mean? Like you didn't lose 15 over a year. Like, yeah.
Well, I went to
You're
the
looking
doctor.
thinner all the time. You're looking thinner all the time.
Well, that's because I've been eating because I'm just like.
Even he's looking thinner.
Stress. The closer my shoulders get to my ears, the worse it is.
You should eat a lot less, And if you ate a lot less, you would look less like me,
I ate a packet of Sunkist tuna. I threw some mayonnaise in it, or not me. Shame on me. Miracle Whip.
Oh, you motherfucker!
I love Miracle Whip.
Miracle Whip is so nasty.
To each his own, because we all have a different palate. But
Miracle Whip is a salad dressing. Like it's meant to put on salad. Like it says it on the bottle.
Pasta salad.
Dressing.
That's how much you know it's in a jar.
Yep. People that use fucking Miracle Whip as salad dressing, dude, their diabetes have fucking diabetes. Like it's bad if you use fucking Miracle Whip as fucking mayonnaise spread.
I don't know if it has real sugar or if it has a sugar substitute, but it is very sweet. I don't know if it could be like a zero sugar situation. I don't know, but
That's
it is very sweet.
I like it because it's sweeter. Yeah,
it might be like aspartame or something. It might be like something like that.
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's nasty. I know that.
I think I got to the point where I was like, I don't care. I like it. I'm gonna eat it. That's when you're older, set in your ways. You're like, I don't care. I want that.
Well, he's gonna drink a jug of like homemade wine in a minute, right? Right, Linus?
I'm out. Dude, I'm out, or I would. It's about that time, but I'm out right now.
Right. So you definitely don't. You definitely don't care.
I gotta wake up at like 30 minutes to go to work. Like 45 minutes. Or about an hour. I gotta wake up at 5:30. It's 4.
Are you guys gonna go on a morning walk, or is it gonna be too cold? Oh wait, you're where it's warm. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't walk. Fuck. That's peon shit. That's
you guys do calisthenics in the morning or something?
No. Yeah.
You're a bad babysitter.
Cocaine at Starbucks? Like, does that count? That counts.
What does Mr. Lee get out of that?
Cocaine at Starbucks?
He would probably want to do calisthenics after that.
Yeah.
Or rave. I mean, I don't know. I don't know his energy level.
I like putting the key up to his face. I'm like, Mr. Lee. It's my key.
I got so confused about the salt cellars. I was like, oh my God, spoon. He's like,
put this up your nose and wake up, Mr. Lee.
What the hell is that? That's like a gravy spoon for Smurfs. I don't know. Salt cellars.
Put some tuna or some psilocybin on the end of that. You know what I mean?
I wish.
I think it's gonna be one of those times, boys, where it's bon voyage. Yeah, unlike gut ride, where I act like there's some kind of fucking earthquake happening, where I'm like, whoa, what is all that noise happening? Where I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You know, like he acts like whenever he's quitting a fucking stream, it's like a fucking surprise to him. You know?
I like him doing that better than just going. And then, and I'm like, well, fuck you.
No,
he takes mainstream, and then he takes mainstream, and he's like, and he makes a face, and then he's like, and he kicks you both out. Right?
You gotta throw the green signs up for a second, though, too. He's got to be like, whatever the fuck, you know. And I'm like, yo, that's just dope. I don't know what that means, but yeah, I'd fuck your sister too, I guess. And then he bounces, man.
I know, I have something goofy. I said to him, like, what? You want a dirty Sanchez? Like, not when he's ended, but he'll do like that during the stream.
What the fuck?
What?
That is so improper. First of all, when you meet a lady, you give her a dirty Juarez. Okay, that's when you give it to her right here and right here. You gotta give them that little soul patch too. You know, not just the
dirty Sanchez was when you had like a dirty poop finger and you wiped it under somebody's.
Right, you're right. You give them the Mexican mustache.
Would you really want me to say what it is? You don't want me to say what it is, right?
What, Joe?
You don't want me to say what that really is, right?
No, he only does it one way.
If you're real with Dookie, you have to put it the girl's butt, and then you got Dookie on it, and then you give her a mustache.
It's too
I'll say it. I haven't done it yet, but I ain't not thought about it, you know?
Yeah, fuck it. You
I
can
thought about it. Yeah. Never done it yet. It's on my fucking to-do list.
Did you not bring Drewski with you? What's wrong with you? What happened?
Fuck Drewski. You think I'm going to bring Drewski with me anywhere I go?
Yes.
Drewski calls me gay everywhere I go. He calls me gay, Joe.
Because he has some kind of weird fucking thing going on, dude, where he's self-projecting. We're
from the fucking Midwest. We don't know what to do. We lived in freaking Beaver Cleaverland.
Yeah, well, another guy.
He lives in Detroit. I mean, he lives in Michigan. I know Michigan people. He doesn't have to do that.
Oh, I'd lump myself in because I'm in Illinois and I'm like, we're Midwest people.
Nothing against gay dude, but that guy, I think he is secret. Like, dude, not even secretly. I know he wants me. I know he does. Every single time he gives me a hard time. It's always something sexual. It's always fucking something sexual with that guy.
That is
either that or he calls me the N-word. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Did you see Drewski's photo with all the like strippers in the club where one of them is like going down on him and he's like,
oh,
God. No.
But it's so funny. There's like 4 girls around and he's like,
I wonder what picture of strippers all around somebody they used. That's where I get concerned for a second.
He shows it. It looks like a peacock, with all the feathers around. But
okay. Because I was like, I showed a picture of me with all the strippers around me for my birthday, and I was like,
it was Drewski. It was Drewski. No, it wasn't you.
No, but I mean, Photoshop is a thing. I thought you meant like somebody else made it, not like it was. Original.
No, he was just like, look at this. No. Photoshop didn't make it.
Midwest samesies. Like I had mine right there, like 21st birthday or 22nd birthday. Yeah.
Right on. That's cool. That's cool. I've never been to a strip club, never, But I've been married since. Well, I've been with her since 2001, so it's forever.
Oh yeah. See, that was my last single year. So I feel
how old were you in 2001?
21.
Me? I was probably like 25 or something.
21, 25?
Damn. I'm 46.
So old ass nigga. Yeah, y'all them old heads. We call them kinfolk down here in Houston. We call them kinfolk. You know the old black guy at the gas station that acts like he knows everything about life, but doesn't tell you the answer about life? But then he asks you for change? That's...
Right. Well, that's what I grew up with. I called them like corner store preachers or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
But that's what I grew up with.
Kinfolk down here. Yeah, kinfolk. That's what we call them. It's like they know shit about life, but they don't tell you the answer. And then they ask you for 25 cents.
They're always talking to 15-year-old white boys, and I'm like, oh, if you knew something, wouldn't you be talking to somebody else? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So I just call them like corner store preachers or whatever. They're local. They're whatever.
The hood is a beautiful place. You can learn a lot in the hood, or learn nothing at all. Like it's fucking weird.
It is.
But everybody's trying to sell you Herbalife and shit. Everybody's got like a fucking side thing.
Oh yeah, bro. Do they be selling like fucking 5-gallon things of Tide on the side of the road? And it's like, I saw this fucking documentary about it where they're like, you definitely don't want to buy fucking detergent on the side of the road because it's made out of who knows what. And this guy had fucking chemical burns after fucking using this fucking Tide that he bought on the side of the road.
I think,
and I see these people all the time. Like they'll have fucking.
I think roses are number one. Roses are like your gateway drug to the side of the road, or at least the side of the highway. I'm gonna sell you some roses. That's the gateway drug.
Yeah.
Oranges. Depends on where you live. Oranges, roses, blankets, some shit. You know what I mean?
I prefer real drugs.
Right.
But to each his own. So somebody gets off on them selling flowers, or fucking that's on them. But it's like Hoover was talking earlier to Gutrock. You could ask him. There's this guy that acts like a baby.
Shut up! He does not act like a baby.
Here's exactly what happened. She said, "There's this guy. He acts like a 5-year-old and calls me big sister."
No, I did not say big sister ever.
And acts like I'm 8 years old. When he acts like he's 5 years old.
He says, no, he doesn't act. He says, when people say stupid crap in coin chats, he goes, I don't know. I'm only 5 years old. And then he started calling me the crazy 8-year-old. And then I was.
And then it happened in private, right?
I mean, we need to move on before I hear what he said, but you sound a little bit guilty.
Not on private chats. I start blabbing a lot about my day. Then he'll go, I don't know, Melissa. I'm only 5 years old. That means he wants me to quit being serious. Because he's
creepy as fuck.
I'm telling you, there's been years of this, so I know the dynamic, and it has always been the same, and there's nothing salacious there.
So there's 3 people. So there's 3 people looking at it from the outside.
Be older than 5 because she's known this for years. You know what I mean? So he has to at least 8.
Yeah. This is like
yeah,
4
she's already
years ago, so I know where it is, what it is.
Yeah, he's already tricked you. He's already groomed you, is what he's done. He groomed you.
He's reverse grooming. Yeah, he takes somebody that's that old and turns them into somebody who likes an 8-year-old, right?
Yeah,
it's reverse grooming.
We don't shop for kids' clothes or adult clothes together or anything like that. He just wants to talk about his fucking coins.
No, it used to be an internet joke to be like, oh my gosh, I saw that. I'm only 12. And they moved it to 10, but whatever is going on here, it's.
No, this guy's sick. Yeah, they talk about it in private. Do they talk about it in private? He'll be like, "Hey, big sister, you're 8. I'm 5. I'm wearing a diaper."
You guys, you and Gut, you're like perpetuating the big sister. That was never a thing that got said.
Yeah, you made that up.
So inaccurate.
Ask Gutrock. Ask Gutrock.
Ask Gutrock if he started saying that on his own, because he did. Yes.
I'm not saying it. I'm just saying, just ask Gutrock.
Oh my god!
I can't wait to see your new phone, man. You'll sound better. You're very muffled. Am I muffled?
No.
Yeah, shut up about my friend and go buy some $25 pair of earbuds that are quite excellent, by the way. JLab, not endorsed, but yeah. Or sponsored or whatever. Well, fuck, I don't know. But no, they're quality.
All right, we're gonna take one more hit, then I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to work in an hour.
Tell Mr.
Lee.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it because I was like, should I say it? No.
He's like a fucking Lester. Like I'll be fucking just trying to sleep while I'm working, and then he'd be like hovering above me. I'll be like, "What the fuck?"
Whatever.
What
the fuck is this guy doing in my house?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm over here trying to sleep, and you want lunch? The fuck? You want your medicine? Dude, I'm trying to fucking sleep. Get the fuck away from me, you old creepy bastard.
See, if you do that with little kids and you sleep past 10, they start finding things around the house just to fuck with you.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but that's no different than a cat. A cat will just start pushing you in a way that you've never felt. You know what I mean? They're just like
I'm eating the bread. Yeah.
Trying to sleep till 10, 20, and they start giving you this thing. You're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
that's the nice way, at least. I don't know. I had a buddy that after he offed himself, and his wife, her father said, "Okay, you can bring one of your cats, not all 3 of them." And I was like, "That's shitty." So I was like, "I'll take 2 of them," and they were in the apartment with him when he did what he did. And then one hit up on yeah, bye Matt. Go buy some fucking rollerblades and some JLabs.
I think he said he had to go serve Mr. Lee or whatever in the morning or whatever.
He said one more hit and he didn't even take it. And then he was like, "I'm out of here." Oh well. We've been missing each other on understanding or paying attention what the other one's been saying all night.
Okay, so you were talking about the cats that were left, the ones that you had to pick up.
Yeah. So one of them immediately ran under our couch and lived there, but it would go to the cat box, so that was good. We're like, okay, it wouldn't do it when we were out in the living room because it had to go we had one of those long utility closets and put the cat box in there. So it's if you guys don't move off the couch, boy, I'm gonna dart in there. It's kosher, or just do it late at night. And then the other one, if it wanted you awake, it would I had this bench and it would jump off of the bench onto the bed and then up on top of the TV, before we had flat screens. And then if you didn't hear it up there thumping its tail on the TV, then it would jump on the bed and pull the blanket back. And his wife did what she said, he'll start at your toes. Yeah. It's time to feed me. It's like, it was funny. I was like, those cats, they were traumatized, and I felt bad. I didn't know what to do with them. Eventually, his sister and brother-in-law came and got the cats. And then
you don't have any more. You don't have any more cats, right?
No, I did it because it was for, a friend.
Do you have puppies?
Huh?
Do you have dogs?
Oh, hell yeah, I do.
Yeah. Corgis?
Yeah. We got Frank Sinatra. Oh, wow. Nobody's in this room with me. I'm amazed. So, yeah, Frank Sinatra and Ollie. That's only 2 I have now. I say only, but that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, one time I was like, before we had Frank, I was 4 deep. I had the 2 Corgis, a Rottweiler, and then my uncle's Boston Terrier. I never thought about even owning one, and that dog was awesome. He was so much fun. Like, he was just funny. You know what I mean? And well behaved.
They've tried to add a cat or a dog or whatever here and there. And I said, no, we picked children instead, But to me, it's like if you have 2 kids or 2 pets, it's the same thing as having 4. It's all the same. You know what I mean? Like once you have 1 or 2, like you have to do a lot more laundry. You have to like feed people more,
I was
it's
like,
all the same thing.
The only upside is they don't talk back, and you don't have to pay for them to go to school or clothe them. I mean,
Well, yeah, but they're never going to have a job and like give you a kickback either. You know what I mean? Like a cat is never going to give you 20% of his income.
When have you ever heard of a cat or a dog living past like 20 years? Usually you have a kid till they're 18 and you're like, okay, now you go to college, or I'm saying,
right. No, I grew up with a 21-year-old cat, and when the cat died at 21, it was a what do you call those things? What the fuck do you call it? It was a one of those dark-eared cats, that live forever. It was a Siamese. And it was 21. And when it died, it died like within like 3 days. And I said, I don't want to go through that anymore. I grew up with this Siamese cat that was like my brother,
Right.
I'm done. You know what I mean?
Like for everything. Like, I don't want to. Yeah.
Well, it's just like
if I go through the loss again and care. Yeah, it sucks. It does.
Like people, when they have a pet, they don't think like, well, when I go to work, who's going to take care of it? Like the dog walker or whatever, they don't think about things like that. It's like you can't own another entity, and I had this Siamese cat that lived to like 21 years old and, graciously died in like a few days. It's like, oh, my back legs don't work anymore. I'm miserable. I'm sleeping and I'm dead. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to do that again.
Yeah. Like I went through that with my uncle's dog. It was like a matter of 4 hours. Like the day before, he was running, like literally running from my grandma's back door up to the front door of my house. Like you wouldn't have thought anything was wrong. But,
right.
I mean, he did have cancer. He had a huge tumor that weighed 3 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, I still have it in a jar. Everybody's like, fucking weirdo. And I'm like, that's like crazy. Like,
you have the tumor or the cat?
No, he was a Boston Terrier, but I have the tumor in a jar.
You have the tumor in a jar. Yes, people think that's weird, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that is weird. Let's see. Well, it's 3 pound tumor, right?
Yeah, it is. It's a 3 pound tumor.
Wet specimens. Most people don't have wet specimens.
Well, I'm
taking a breath.
I took it as soon as they showed it to me, like on the tray, and they put it in a bag for me. And I said, okay, I'm going straight to like Dollar General or Walmart, wherever I can find, a jar to put it in. And they said,
holy shit.
They said, do, the highest percentage of the isopropyl alcohol that you can, because obviously you're not going to get formaldehyde anywhere. And they were
you
like,
can get a 70 or 90.
There's this crazy lady walking around the store with a bag from your vet place because it had little black and white paw prints on it, holding it up next to the jars. It's like, but I mean, they got me, and they were like, it wasn't weird to them. But, yeah, that was way, way pre-COVID because, oh my God, you can't even get a tooth pulled and say, I'm going to keep my tooth. They're like, no, you can't. That's a biohazard. Oh my God.
No, they've always done that. Yeah. But I have my teeth.
Oh, I have mine too.
Put in the box. I have my teeth in a box.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I have 3 of them coming out right now, so I'm not gonna have many teeth soon.
Have you ever seen any of the tooth jewelry?
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, if anything,
that's one of the reasons that I kept all of mine. Not only that, but now you know how people they'll make diamonds out of people's ashes. So I just want diamonds out of my own teeth, and just put one of these things, one of these earrings on with a shiny diamond of my own.
Right. That's what I want with my uncle's ashes. I really, 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 really was trying to talk everybody into doing that. Because if they had
cremated, that I was talking about, they made him an ash
for 3 years. So I'm like, I guess, can I make a decision?
Well, no. Let me ask you: do you actually have his ashes?
Not anymore. They are in the whatever you call that, there's a container. Thank you. But the headstone that my grandparents have,
right.
It has my uncle's name on it, and then they lifted it up, and then they put the urn up underneath it, and then it's encapsulated down in that. Because my grandma, which I didn't know, she wanted to be cremated too, and I'm like, oh my God. Well, not too, because my uncle didn't want to be, but so it was like, and he was really into arrowheads and rocks and stuff like that. So I was like, why not make him a stone too? I was like, that'd be cool.
Well, my mom got that same cat that I was talking about cremated the first time, right? Yeah. And so I've seen that bag of ashes. They're like a bunch of white bone, fragments and ashes. Yeah. And I saw his little teeth situation there. There was a little bit of blood there, but anyways, it's a bunch of bone chips, basically.
You know what?
But she's done it ever since. She's done it ever since with all of her animals. And now she just died, right? But even when her mother died recently, she got a part of her mom into ashes. So I'm sure that I'm going to have mom ashes in a minute. Yeah. You know what I mean?
He had his grandma had a vial thing, kind of what's her faces? Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton had the one with their blood in it, but he had one that had ashes in it, and he was like, everybody in my family's a piece of shit, and he's like, I can only trust my husband and me. So he's like, he brought a suitcase of stuff over here, and he's like, can I just throw it in your closet or out in your garage, so nobody else can get to it? And we're like, yeah, that's fine, but. It's here if you ever want to check on it.
You usually have to be kind of I don't know, narcissistic or even maybe atheistic, to try to keep your ashes or something. So when my wife, when my mom was talking about her mother, sorry about that. Wow, too many associations. When my mom was talking about her mother, she was like, I know it's not very Christian, but I want part of this to be ashes, in a Buddhist, something, Right. So she's got a bit of grandma, and I'm sure that she's coming next. But I've got my teeth, and I will get them turned into a diamond, because you can get manufactured diamonds out of ash.
Yeah, I remember seeing a YouTube video about that years ago, before I was even thinking about anybody in my family passing away. But I was like,
right.
Oh that's so cool. And since like the price of it had went down, and then funeral homes were finally like, their little brochures and things you can get, like fingerprints or anything like that. Then I was like, okay, I was telling you guys about this. I was like, I want us to get these, Like, oh no.
Well, when I was looking into like the actual, I don't think that we should take up plots of land that nobody's going to go see again. Like in the case of a grave, nobody's ever going to go there again. You know what I mean?
You're right.
And
I agree.
So I think that cremation is pretty cool. So when I was looking into that for myself, I found out that like police, they can get their ashes put into little bullets and stuff and get them passed around. And I was like, oh, I could get my little ashes in like a bullet and like pass them around. I would love to do it. I would love to.
Well, do you remember that show? I don't know, it was like Family something, but Shelley Long played somebody's mom in that, and she passed away. But then she put her ashes in around this tree, and then they didn't know about it, and they brought the tree like to where they lived, and they're like, I don't know what to do with the tree, like, are you gonna be, because
I don't remember Shelley Long being in a TV show, but I love Shelley Long. But she was in a TV show?
Yeah, it was. Oh my gosh, it was so popular, and I can't even think of it now. Something Family, I don't know. It's funny, I can't remember it. But
well, no, they have people who now they actually put like, I don't know what part of your whole body. I guess it's already like, already been drained out and formaldehyde, whatever. But apparently they put it in the nest of a tree or something like that now, so that you can grow like, from your own nutrients
for it.
Yeah, you're fertilizer. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I was like, that's cool. Like, you're giving back.
Yeah. Yeah, the options are cool. The options are cool. And I talked to some guy because he made a book that was bound in skin. This is where the atheist part comes in, where you just want to be here forever. Like I said, I want to be in some bullets. And I talked to another guy because he made a book out of some skin. And I was like, make some books out of my skin. And he was like, well, you better use sunscreen.
Got to keep it supple.
And then I told him, I was like, do you really think you're going to outlive me?
You're like, I better get my stuff in writing for somebody else, That was one thing that was cool when my uncle was in the hospital, and then we knew he was going to, say, because my dad was his power of attorney, and then he told my dad he's like, I'm done. Pull the fucking plug.
Yeah. Right.
And it was like, of course, my grandparents had just left, and going with my dad's girlfriend in my vehicle, because they came in the truck, and then I had the SUV, and then it's like, how are you going to make the 80-year-old people get all the way downstairs? And then say that, and my dad's like, he said, it's time. And I was like, shit. So I'm like calling and making sure I'm by the window because it's shitty reception. And I could see them like getting in the car but not leaving. And calling and waving at the same time. Yeah. I don't know. It was weird because it's almost like, I don't know. I always call it rolling up the window. Like, you roll up the window and you're not really like feeling what's going on right then. It's just like you gotta make sure everybody else is like okay.
Oh yeah. The way that I deferred to my kids today and stuff. But,
and then you go home and have the flip out by yourself. But
my mother's mother, she died across the highway here, right? Mm-hmm. And so I went to see her one time, and it was COVID. So she was on the other side of glass, I went to see her. I waved, and she picked up her phone so I could call her. And I called her, and I talked to her, and we talked, and she was cool. Second time I go, and I go see her, and she goes like this, "Go away." It's like 3 days later, and she just like waves at me, "Go away," and that was it. Like she died the next day. She was like, "I can't talk to you. I'm sorry. Just go away," and that was it. And so my mom, she just went on another one of her vacations and died. And it's just like, hey, my wife's like saying, "Hey, Joe, your mom, something's wrong." And I was like, "What? What?" And then she came back and she's like, "Mom, I think your mom died." And I was like, "My mom died. My mom died." I was like, that's it. Like I have to readjust, I have to like change into the new world. Whatever, we were supposed to go somewhere a week from now, because she's on vacation. We were waiting until she got back, but it's all over, it's all over. And like, of course I would want to be there, but it's the same as my, her mom just waving me away. Like, why would I want to be there? Maybe if I got the chance to hang out with her in the hospital, it's because she suffered for 2 months before. It's no good for her.
Yeah, so that's what was weird, because my uncle was only like around his 50s, and he had breathing problems, and then they were like, they wanted to start doing dialysis, and he was like, "Oh no." And but it was like, it was so weird. Like I noticed the pattern, because like at that point in time I was like, I got that was around the first couple of years I was on my ADHD medicine. So I was like, I'd put everything in the calendar. So it was like, if I'm like, then I got to remember what time I did this.
You're focused with those, yeah.
Yeah. And every Friday was like, it seemed like they would take out the intubation, or he wouldn't have, all everything hooked up to him. And like Fridays were always good. It was like, that's the day I knew we're going to sit in there and joke around or talk about stuff. And I think there was a solar eclipse that year. Actually, oh my God, it was the day I think it was before that. But it's funny because like the Hoover side of my family is very just, I say it's the German part. It's their fault. Just very, yeah. The roll the window ups there all the time. But, that my dad's girlfriend was just like, no, she's like, we need to get him in the truck and let him go drive around, or not let him drive, obviously, but drive around and go like watch as much as you can of, I mean, it wasn't time for it anymore.
Go experience stuff and
watch the sun.
Yeah.
And like, she looked at me because she knew she's like, if anybody's going to take some action with me, it's going to be you. So she's like, I want to start wheeling this bed out of this room right now. And I was like, I don't think we should right now. Because I was like, hey, he was in a lot of pain,
Right.
And it was like, but he was really like looking forward to thinking he would be out again of the hospital, because it was so weird. He was in there, and then he was home over the 4th of July weekend, and then went back in. And I had came over.
Was this in COVID time?
No, thank goodness, because that's why we got to go in there so much. This was like 7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the meantime, it was like my grandma was like getting close to 80, and she's over here with like one of these 1960s little tiny dustbusters before a dustbuster had a name, like had like that crazy print that's blue, like I dream of stuff. You know what I mean? And
like she's one of those,
yeah, like not even a red dirt devil. It was blue and white. And it was like, Grandma, no. It was like, you can sit and critique me, and you're like, don't just, shove them off.
Right.
What's up, Lep? I was like, yeah, just like if I was like, I'll do that, and like you can tell me other stuff to do, or tell me if you think it's like, because my grandma was never critical, so I was just like, she's not going to do it anyway. But give them the option, you know what I mean.
Right.
Just not say you can't do any of this. Go away. That's not nice. But he had told me when he came home that weekend, and at that time I didn't live in the same town. I was, couple like 5 miles away. And I said, hey, I went over and I was vacuuming up the house and got grandma to knock it off. And he said, well, she already took my weed. My uncles, like nobody was allowed to talk to me about that or anything. It was like nobody drank at any kind of holiday parties at grandma and grandpa's.
Oh, yeah.
If you smoked and you weren't grandpa, you went outside. Like that was, yeah. So it was real, like straight laced like that.
When I grew up, every fucking party, I don't care if it was a girl's 3-year-old birthday party, every party was guys drinking. That's all it was. like that's the only reason they met. Guys drinking, and they were talking about them. You know what I mean? Like that's it. 3-year-old girl, hey, happy birthday, girl. Guys drinking and talking about everybody else.
Right. Hi, Hector.
How you doing?
Good. Not great, but good.
Yeah. We all go through that way.
Yeah.
What's going on? Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm okay, man. My daughter's bothering me. She says I have to get out here.
Your daughter's telling you to get out of where?
She told me to stop live streaming. She's got to, go to school soon.
Well, that's right.
You don't have
it's only 3:00 here.
Yeah, it's 6 here. It's 6.
Oh my gosh. What time do they start school? I thought school was like 8:30.
7:45 sometimes.
No. She's like 8:45. She just wants me to like stop so that she can walk around and do her thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You need to turn off your camera. Yeah.
I could, but I'll see you guys soon. You know what I mean?
Excuses. Gotcha. Fine.
Excuses. Yeah. I'm gonna have to digest the fact that my mother died yesterday, and I'm just gonna have to deal with that. So yes. I need some space. It's okay. Dude, it's okay.
Circling back on that.
My condolences.
Exactly.
Nah. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, my mom's been gone 3 years now, and it's still. Yeah. I mean, even as old as I feel, I should say, old as I am, it still doesn't register. And sometimes I've got a habit of seeing my mom every day for the last 15 years. And some of the habits are still there. You want to go back, but you forget she's not there no more.
Yeah. No, I don't really kind of comprehend the world that she doesn't exist in, but I understand it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
She went on vacation, as she does several times a year, and she's not coming back. Yeah. That's just the way it is.
It's funny. It's funny you say that, because when I saw her every day, certain things reminded me now, like certain smells or certain sounds, or somebody says a phrase and click, that memory comes back.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Well, we've always talked about her mother, who passed in the last few years, as if she was here. It's just like grandma likes this, grandma likes that. That's the way that I spoke with my mother. And my grandmother buried 2 husbands, and the same way that I dealt with them, it's just we broke on a good note. We understood where we stood on a good note, and just that's how it goes. I mean, that's how it is eternally. That's the last ring.
Good, though.
The last ripple in the pond.
Yeah. Like, I didn't feel like I was really that active in a, relationship with my uncle, but when everything was going on, like I stepped up and was like, okay, grandma can't clean the house. The dog needs taken care of. And I was like, finally, like he was in and out. And I'm like, can I just take him to my house? And
right.
Yeah, he could play with my dogs and stuff. Like I think even the nurse thought it was weird because like my husband, I would always sit there and scratch his arm because that was something that comforted him. And I was sitting there doing that to my uncle because I'm just used to doing it. I'm like, oh, it's like it calmed me down to think that was like a calming thing for somebody else. So, like a nurse was like, and you're what to him? And I'm like, I'm his niece. I thought, say something.
Oh, yeah, they thought that was like, overstepping a bound or something.
I'm like, I love him. And this is like, I don't know. I'm doing.
That's kind of something when you said scratching him or rubbing his arm.
Like I was holding his hand, like standing beside the bed, like holding his hand under his arm, and then I was doing that on his arm on top of it, just because it
makes your husband comfortable, right? But you were still just transferring that same idea.
Yeah, it was like I'm not.
Wow, that sounds similar to what. Well, my dad was in his last 3 months of being in ICU. Mm-hmm. I was the ICU you're supposed to be out of there by 8:00. Sometimes the nurses would come in and just look at me, and I wouldn't say a word, and they knew I wasn't leaving until I was ready. Right. So when
they would turn the lights off on me when I had to do that in ICU.
Well, hey, turn the lights is fine. Let my dad rest. But you know something? You know how you do that bro shake? You have your thumb over the top and you sort of like do a bro shake. I had to hold his hand in that fashion to let him go to sleep. And then when I thought he fell asleep about an hour later, I tried to pull my hand away from it. And I felt my dad had big hands. He was a little guy, 5'5", but his hands were like monster hands because he worked with his hands all his life. And they were rough and they were thick and big old hands. And when I would try to pull my hand away, he would wake up and pull my hand back. He said, "Where are you going?" I said, "Well, Dad, It's already 3 a.m. I got to be at work in 3 hours." Because I would sometimes fall asleep holding his hand. And the nurses, they never bothered me to leave and nothing like that. I never told my brothers the story because they'd always leave, or don't show up. They were, working or whatever reason. I haven't told them the story that when he would wake up, he'd ask, "Where's the boys? Where's the girls?" I said, "They're working, Dad. What time is it?" And I usually had to lie to him. That was my little story about ICU.
I thought it was comforting.
For me, it was, and for him, it was too. Yeah, he wasn't afraid.
They're not like touchy-feely.
Oh no, my dad. Oh my gosh, he was a World War II combat vet, and he went through some really bad times in the war. And even when we were kids, I remember him having issues, mental issues. And we were growing up like that. But something, as he got older, he got really mellow, and he started telling me stories about, not so much about what he did in the war.
You got to record him when you were on the front porch, and he was.
Oh yeah. He's singing old Italian songs, and I'm going, "Dang, who is that song coming from?" And then he gets mad at me or says, kind of waves me off, says, "Don't do that." Yeah, it's funny how things change.
You captured that moment, though. I thought.
Yeah, well, it's just like when I just helped talk to my cousin. She had a twin who committed suicide 3 weeks ago, and we've been trying to comfort her, and she's in a lot better. But man, I can't imagine losing half of you, and you look in the mirror and you're not. It's your sister. There's a lot of things like that, and we've been talking to her, but she's really religious, very religious.
Oh my God!
Yeah, my sister is less than a year younger than me. I talked to my father and I talked to my sister, the youngest. That's it right now. Day one of my mother passing. But my younger sister, who's less than a year, she had a twin who was like, passed before birth, like into the toilet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I've always like wondered about that for her, you know, because she had somebody she was connected to that wasn't even birthed. You know what I mean? But what's the difference? You know, I know the consciousness and everything was written, right? The thing didn't go through the passageway. It didn't get to breathe the air or whatever. But you know, I'm sure that half of her is somewhere out there.
Well, in science, they always say that energy turns into another form. That energy never dissipates.
Right.
And so the spirit, if you think of it as an energy source, you know, talking about it analytically, you're not really thinking of it as like faith-based or you know, a hypothesis. But that's pretty much where I hear people say, well, it's one form of energy to another. You know, so I mean, I've heard stories from my family, especially the Indian side, about, you know, ancestors and all that. Sometimes you hear it like creepy, and then
sometimes I might be transferred to another form of matter, but I'm gonna live forever because energy never dies.
Right.
Yeah, that's the whole theory. Energy's never lost; it just transfers.
Right.
Oh, yes. Just speaking of longevity, I just got a call yesterday from my high school reunion classmate. We're doing our 50th next year.
Oh, no, you're not. You're having like your 40th.
26. All right, well, I got to go. Good night, everybody. I mean, good morning.
Good night, Ryan. Good morning.
Oh, good night. Thanks for hanging out, Joe. Hector, you're going to drop dead. And that was probably in poor taste after the talk. But
wasn't poor taste.
I know, but my brain was thinking it, and I'm sorry.
I'm missing something here.
No,
we're talking about.
I'm going to ask you something political, and you know I never do that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I was talking to someone with a brain in their head that's an actual adult and not a weirdo, because you know people in my life because you've heard enough. Okay, yeah, somebody substantial, and they were talking to me about the Prop 2025, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
oh shit,
yeah, and I was told. I mean, the thing is, I had to explain me in certain ways, like my jaw was hitting the floor. And then I asked about what people's opinion was on another channel last night. And I just felt like they were missing the point of what I was saying. Not all of them, like one of them. But it was, and I thought, man, okay. I haven't read the book or anything like that by any means, but I just thought, okay, the examples that were presented to me, I was like, yeah, that's definitely a way to look at it. And I was like, that's so stupid.
You're talking about Project 2025, right?
Yeah, it's like retroactive, really.
Well, did you know that they mentioned Trump's name 312 times in the book?
Yep, and I know this person is not for Trump, but they didn't even mention that Trump was involved in it. They said, was it the MAGA or whatever?
Oh, he's involved.
Well, of course, I looked stuff up on YouTube, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I don't
know there with it, you know.
You know, Ida Herring, you know her, right?
Yeah.
She's really a Trumper, or at least a right-leaning person, and she was putting down the Democrats for not supporting the veterans. And then I sent her a clip showing that the Republicans, like Ted Cruz and Corcoran, I forget his name, they did a fist bump because they did a defeat of a vote for veterans that are in Afghanistan. Oh, are you okay?
I'm pretty sure I have an infection.
Yeah, it's something like bronchitis.
Well, just I don't know. I mowed the yard 2 days ago, and I just thought
you're
I
having a
kicked up
pollen attack
or something. But then today I coughed, and I'm like, I smell it. I'm, like, I don't know. When I get sick, I can smell. I'm like, I smell infection. I'm sick.
Anyway, she was complaining that the Democrats were denying veterans benefits. So I sent her a clip. She said, are they clear enough that the Democrats are doing this and doing that to veterans? And I said, you know something? You're clear enough, but here's a little clip, and it shows how Ted Cruz in 147 of the House and 28 members of the Republican Senate voted against the PAC. And the PACT Act was where they would give funding for veterans of Afghanistan and Iraq for the burn pits, all the chemical cancer-causing problems.
Mm-hmm.
Just like my cousin Richard, he died of Agent Orange in Vietnam, from the Vietnam era. So I sent her a little clip. So I'm just waiting for her to return to it because she's been really riding my ass. And I've been very pleasant. I just give her, facts. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't say much. I just say clear enough. Here's an answer to that.
That's all you can do.
I'm sorry?
I said that's all you can do.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna get angry. Why should I get angry? But she's
exactly, because we've
well, I don't have to get angry because
not getting angry, but like just know how I would just like disconnect from it, and I'd be like, nope. You guys can have my stream. Back in the day, I'm like, you guys can have my stream. He's like, I don't.
If you go to NBC News early vote, it shows that almost 60% of the early ballots, and there's 37 million already accounted for. And all they're doing right now is counting which party you belong to. They're not counting the votes, just an overwhelming. A lot of the states like Pennsylvania, it's like 61% of the ballots turned in were Democratic. And another one. Do you remember Nickel? What's the last? What's it? Nickel Stacking?
Yeah.
Oh my God, is he crazy? I
don't know how to take him.
Last Friday, the stock market 5 days in a row. S&P 500, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, what's the other one? The Russell. All of them hit new highs 5 days in a row. 43,000 on Friday. And he's always inflation was down. The last Friday report was 254,000 new jobs. I sent it all to him. I put it on his one of his comments.
Right.
He took it off.
Yeah.
He took it off.
Oh no.
I even got a like out of it after he took it off. And the thing is, they're even today when Trump was doing his town hall, he was playing music for 34 minutes. Didn't answer any questions.
Fold up.
Well, I think who's the other one that gets mad also? Ida was one.
I don't know. I don't. I'm not up that. I'll say for me that late because I'm going to bed by then.
No, but something. I always taught.
I don't hang out at the ladies' coin shed.
Well, I've always been told you don't change the rules in the middle of the game. You don't change the rules to make yourself win. You shake your hands and you come out fair in a fair fight. If you lose a fight, as a kid, I used to win fights. I used to lose fights. When I lost fights, I don't go for revenge. I don't go attacking people. When did the American society change to that point where if you lose, you're right even if you lie? And I thought the Ten Commandments said the ninth commandment is thou shalt not bear false witness to your neighbor. And they're Christians. And
I don't know an exact year, but I think about the time that I quit caring, and then would have been probably like 2001. And then I feel like it happened somewhere there between that and post Obama. I mean, that's still a pretty big spread. What's up, Monkey King Metals?
Howdy.
Hi.
Hey there, Zach. Hey, I bought some. Oh, I've got to tell you guys, I bought some pennies, and I bought 2 silver rounds.
Oh, what silver rounds?
Actually, you need to be You need to be asking your little hotspot for coins. He's got 2024 nickels.
You know some? My daughter's best friend in high school is the bank manager down the street and around the corner from her house.
I ain't got more today.
Did you get a box of 24s?
No, dude, I wish those were 24s.
No, but here's
what guys, I did like already on eBay.
here's what my daughter asked her friend to do. To open the box up and check if it's a brand new box of 2024s. So she's going to search the boxes.
At the bank?
At the bank.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so, and I've got my grand ready.
Oh, you're going to get several boxes, from what you're saying.
a few boxes.
Well, I mean, they're 100 a piece, so that's what I'm like. Oh, Hector.
Oh, hey, I've got to tell you guys. I think I told Monkey King in a not a text on the phone, but texting through one of the was it when we're talking to Steve Rice? Monkey King, remember?
Last time we were together on private little.
I just turned in 2 different times to the bank on 3 different weeks. $419 of pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and the first time was $370. Last time was $417, and I have to go back next week to get another $300 from him. And I get a load of this. I get so many copper pennies, all pre-82s. The other day, I got, I turned in, let's see, $25, $21. There was $4.75. I got nothing but copper pennies, and I've got a 28, a 37. Yeah, I'm getting about $5 to $4 per every time I go and get pennies from him.
Nice. I loved when you did the video about the ratio of pennies of what was zinc or quarters, zinc or copper, and I was like, that's a good idea.
Well, I'm averaging about $4 to $5 per box for 82s.
That's not bad.
I
already have 10 boxes of pennies, all copper.
Sweet. I haven't re-rolled one. I just throw mine in the big Nestle Quick jug.
Oh, I'm anal. I'm anal. I gotta separate them by date, mint mark. And I got $21 just sitting on my desk to go back to the bank.
Yeah, I went and I threw these in today, so I think I got like $24 because that's what I got. Well, I had 25 and some change, but I took them, just recycled them and was like, give me more.
Oh,
and then I found another one in the bag. Like I had those back with the strings, the backpacks. Like I don't like them, but yeah.
The place I went to the auction last night. This guy had a 1909 book to 1940 of Whitman.
Yeah,
it was missing all the key dates like the VDBS and the 1911, 1914D, but the rest of them were in there. Jeez, I think
31S was in there.
The rest were in there. The 22D, I have to make sure it's got a strong back to it. Then I found the 31S in there.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Cool.
I paid $65 for it, but I already made out at more than 65 already.
Yeah, I'm like,
And the rest of the book was full up to 1940.
I don't think they must have realized that one because that shouldn't have been in there still. I wouldn't think. Good job, Hector. That's fun.
But you know something? I didn't believe going to a hole-in-the-wall auction would have. I mean, yeah, there was a 10-ounce bar there, and they went for 300 and with the appraisal and the tax fee, they call it appraiser fee, which is 15%, and 8% for the taxes to collect on it. I think he paid $311, and I think today it was 31 something for the spot, wasn't it today?
Actually, I was looking right now because when you said that, I was like, oh, because Hayden told me gold went up what 16 or $18 yesterday or something. I was like, and the gold and the silver aren't doing the normal.
Right.
They should. They're just both going up. So I was like, yeah.
Well,
what junk silver do I have that I should probably just?
So what's the price right now for silver?
I gotta find my Kitco. Okay, wrong thing. That's crypto. Zach's gonna beat me to it because he always does, but I'm gonna look anyway.
I'm on panel on my phone. I can only do one thing.
Oh, damn it, Beavis. Usually you beat me to stuff. So, okay.
Yeah, I'm on my phone too.
Okay, silver price right now.
If I'm in chat, yeah, I could probably look it up.
It's okay. Anyway, it's 31.83 right now.
31 what?
Silver is at 31.83.
So that dude made out like bank because he had to pay taxes anyway, and he had to pay the appraiser fee. But I think he got under $300 for a 10-ounce bar of silver.
The fees? Yeah, I'd say after fees and everything, he might have been just under spot.
That's still a good deal, though. I mean, for a 10-ounce bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as the silver doesn't tank.
Getting good over there.
That's why I said that's his honey hole spot.
And you know what, Hector?
What?
I'm gonna say this because the simple fact that because you made a comment of it.
I didn't mean to do that.
It's not the hole in the wall. It's not the big stores or the chain stores that have the real good deals. It's actually the mom and pop shops, the hole in the walls, because one, they don't have the traffic that everybody has, that the big chains have. They don't have, a lot of people are a lot less knowledgeable of it.
Well, I think that I can sell the rounds that I've got. It was 31 something. She said for a round, and I'm looking at Epmex, and they're like $36 to $39, and I bought it at $41. So I'm about maybe $2-3 above retail, but I'm going to hold on to it. And when it hits 45, I'm selling them.
Yeah.
Not be greedy. Get my money back at least.
Yeah, exactly. I don't see it hitting 40 anytime soon. And if history is anything like it has been in the past of like events happening in within a certain amount of time.
Well, did you see what S&P this year? The S&P 500 index funds, If you put $100, let's say this year, in January 1st of 2024, as of Friday, it gained 100. Let's see, it would be $100 plus 21%. That means you get $121.30. That's what it came out to, 21.3 gain in the S&P 500, and the average is 10 over the last 40 years.
You know what happened almost 100 years ago?
No.
The stock market crash. 5 more years.
But you know something? And here's what I'm going to tell you. I've been listening to CNBC a lot, and they don't want Harris with her plan because she's going to tax the rich. She's going to do this and that. But here's the opposite. Let's not worry about Trump being in there or Harris being in there. I've been listening to the union growth and the average pay and the growth that's going faster. It's growing faster than the inflation rate. Inflation's like 4.1 right now. No, I'm sorry. Take that back. I'm trying to remember what the inflation rate was. It's two something because the Fed wants to be at 2%. I forget what the number is. Oh God, I want to misquote it. But unemployment rate is at 4.1. It dropped 0.1%. The average median worker is now making more money than the inflation rate. More people are working, and there's still shortages in certain sectors at the moment. So I'm looking at the next 5 years. If they do the same thing, and they save Social Security, and they save all these job manufacturing is happening now, the infrastructure, the IRA, and they do all this, and companies they're already talking about. You ever heard of Mark Cuban?
Yeah,
man, he's. I've been watching him on Shark Tank since it started, and he's like making money fist over hand, or hand over fist, I should say. But I feel a little bit better because I'm retired and I'm on a fixed income, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like the crash is coming up, and if it does, I don't think it'll be like the 1929 crash. It'd be like the 2008. But that was all caused by companies and not following regulations, because that's what happened with the housing market, the robo-signing on mortgages, using money that was shorted on long-term investments to get the short gain.
Yeah,
there was a lot of things that were like shenanigans for them. So hopefully, if they can reinforce it, like right now, did you hear that? What's that lady's name? Her name is Khan. She is only 35 years old, and she's already got Google, Microsoft, and I don't know how many companies getting money back, and also enforcing them to split, because right now Google is supposed to be splitting up because of the court last 2 weeks ago. So we'll see. I'm a little more optimistic about the economy. It's too strong right now.
Yeah, I don't think like you said, I don't think it will be exactly like the 1929, but I do see history.
Well, I can tell you two things that weren't in 100 years ago. One is unemployment. Two, FDIC protecting your money. Three, cash reserves. That each bank has to have enough cash reserves to cover any default. I mean, that alone will cover me and Social Security. I don't know about Social Security though.
Yeah. I got some kind of good news, but I'll tell you guys after we're done with the stream.
Right on. I got plenty to tell you too, buddy. Oh my god, this has been the shittiest weekend.
I saw the comment earlier today in our group chat.
Huh?
Okay, I'm lost.
I'm not.
Well, Hector, you should read the group chat then.
The group chat in what? In Messenger?
Facebook.
Yeah, the Hoovy Hoov one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was it like 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, like midday yesterday?
No, it was early in the day, like right when I figured KK
2 p.m. probably.
Can you guys just tell me? I'm on my phone. I can't go back that far.
John, you know how John goes, Hoover's fault.
Oh, I saw that part.
Yeah, well, Hoovy made a comment after that, said, "Oh hell no, not today."
Right. I was stressing out.
Are you okay there, Melissa?
Well, I'm not saying there's any legal matters. We'll just say somebody went on vacation Friday.
Okay, but the way you say it sounds like it's vacation for a word for a term of
the same thing as last time.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Melissa.
And I got the letter last night in the mail that they are fired. Sounds great.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. I'm kind of in the numb mode right now, so it's easier for me to just give the flat thank you. But I do appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll talk later.
Yeah. Like, I cried when I talked to this freaking,
Well, can I tell you the stupid move I did years and years ago? And I mean, I'm talking about my 20s. I wasn't thinking straight. One of my favorite cousins. She was really, for one thing, she's a very great looking woman. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that right now. She was 8 months pregnant, and in my early 20s, he tried to get her on smack.
Oh, we're on the same.
And I don't know the circumstances at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And she was 8 months pregnant, and I kind of lost my composure.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I lost it, and I tried to talk to him. I said, "Look, you got a daughter on the way, or a boy. You don't want to, mess around with this." Well, who told you that shit? I said, "No one's told me anything." I said, "I could tell the way you're acting." I said, "You weren't this way 2 years ago." I know you weren't acting that way because, in a small town like this, he put his hands on me. I said, "You need to take your hands off me." And he's 6 foot, maybe 6 foot, and I'm 5'9". But I'm built bigger than he is, and I just picked him up.
My dad's 5'9". That's respectable.
Well, he was like 210, 215, and I just picked him up and I just cracked his back on the ground. I said, "Don't you ever touch me like that again." I said, "You can do that to a woman, but you know something? You're a bastard. Don't you ever give her smack." And he said, "Who told you that?" And after he gets up, he takes a swing at me. And I duck and I hit him in the stomach, and his hand landed on the tree right where I was standing. Hurt his hand. I said, "You dumb, don't you know that when you're in that state of mind and the way you've been using this drug, do you think you're going to be able to beat anybody?"
No kidding.
So, and then my dad, he got mad.
A lot of people, they're like, you can even figure out which end is the end to get out of a paper sack.
Well, the thing is that I told her, "Come, let's go to my house." So I took her home. I took her home with me because I didn't, she wasn't going to be safe in that place.
Yep.
And then her brothers find out. Oh shoot! she's got 5 brothers.
No, that probably didn't go over well with them.
Oh no! Well, after that, she divorced him. I said, "You don't need that crap." I mean, for one thing, what I didn't know after that was that he beat her up. I don't know how many months pregnant she was at the time, but her brothers took care of that real quick.
Allegedly. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Yeah, you got it. Except he spent 2 weeks. Except he spent 2 weeks in the hospital.
Yeah, accidents happen.
Mm.
You're not.
Hello.
Hello, KK. What it do, baby?
Oh, the dog woke me up. That dog's driving me crazy.
Hey, don't do with the hurt puppies. That nowadays.
I don't hurt my old dog.
Well, don't be like me and bust your face off a windowsill.
Don't be blaming Demon Boy.
Speaking of which, of dead puppies, this guy that I know went outside to feed his dog, and the dog apparently died on his porch. So he's going to feed her because it's his dog, but he was taking care of it for a family friend because they moved out of town for a little bit, and he says, "Well, when you guys are settled in, come pick up the dog." Well, they took care of the dog, and then he goes outside to feed it, and then he keeps calling it, and the dog's name's Thomas. I go, wow, what a name for a dog. But he kept calling him. He put his hand next to the dog's face to see if it was breathing.
Oh.
Nope. Well, that's not the story that ends. His wife, whose best friend is the dog's owner, her best friend, and she had some bad news and this and that. And she said, well, I might have some good news and some bad news. And the good news is that the dog's still here, but the bad news is that he's dead. And he covers it with a blanket. But a few minutes later, when his wife comes home and tells her the bad news, here comes the dog wrapped in the blanket. And they're both crying and this and that.
I love it. Okay, yay.
And then the dog walks in with a blanket on his head. It was one of those basset hounds with the big floppy ears. Old thing. And he walks in. He's running into the wall.
He's like, what'd you do to me?
Yeah. I said, next time you check on me to make sure I'm dead or alive,
oh my God,
you better. It was just a funny story he told me.
Oh, you made me feel so much better. It was like, oh. We had a cat that did that once. But it's a victory because oh, thank you. We named that cat Angel after that, by the way. We're like, that's the Angel.
Well, if it lived that long, I mean, it had another life, go for it. Jeez, that Angel be perfect.
I would, a cat I can understand because, we always joke about cats and 9 lives, but a dog just, hey.
Oh, yesterday, not yesterday, but last week, my brother-in-law came over, and Shaq, the King Corso that lives next door to us, he was, for some reason, he was just madder than the heck at him. And we were between the fences in his house,
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Shaq, what's going on? What's wrong with you? And then I put my finger through the slit between the railings, between the rails. Then he smells me, and then he calms down. And then Kevin comes out, the dog's owner. He said, what's wrong? I said, I don't know. He's barking at my friend over here. And he goes, well, why? I said, I have no idea. And then I told him, let's go pet him so that he'll get used to you. And I said, but that's a big dog. I said, I can't see what it looks like. Let me prepare you. It's a big dog. So we went on the corner. The dude almost went after him. And we, King Corso is 150 pounds.
Yeah, they're big They're
big dog. I had a second son. He tried to find every which way. No, my friend ran into the car and says, "I'm not getting out until that dog goes back in the fence." He was almost in tears. That was funny.
Hector, I don't know if you caught my stream earlier. Probably not, but I was talking about being over at our friend Jim's house Friday. And he's got a German Shepherd that is bite trained.
Oh.
But apparently somebody didn't do such a good job with him because Jim was standing like 10 feet away from me. And I said, "Hey, can I go over and pet him?" And he said, "He's iffy." And I'm like, "Okay." So I made sure like the length of the chain was as far as it could go. And like he couldn't lunge any farther at me. So, I'm standing there and I put my hand out like that for him to smell it. And then he was all like, mm-hmm. I'm like, "Oh, you're sweet." And as soon as I flipped my wrist like that dog was like, I was like,
really?
But I was like, that's all the farther I had to go because I was like out of the line of,
If someone tells me a dog is iffy, I don't get near it.
See, and that's what my husband didn't understand. He was like, "Well, you should know if a dog's like that, it's going to bite you." And Jim said, "I told her it was iffy." And I said, I understood what iffy meant. And like, apparently, like,
to me, because I train all my Dobermans that they don't approach anybody until I give them the command. And the other thing that I don't let them do is if they go over, it says, "Don't put your hand out. Just let them just stand there, ignore him, and or the dog is saying, not him, but ignore the dog until he's curious enough to find out what you smell like. Once he starts the curiosity of what you are or who you are, don't be afraid. Just stand there, ignore him. And then once he wants your attention, then you come down."
What's up, What's up, America?
Yeah. Oh, my Dirks McGurks.
Who's in the room?
America.
Hi, Coins, and hello, America.
What's up, Canes? I watched a little bit of your stream.
What did it say? I can't read. It's so small.
Canes Catharsis.
Oh, sorry. I don't have glasses on.
Oh,
America's saying he's training 14 LGDs right now.
Is that supposed to be
14 what?
Large dog? That's what I was like. I don't know what LGD is.
Those cattle dogs.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You ever? I don't know if you guys have seen the. There's a channel on YouTube that they a bunch of. It's a farm family, and they've got like they're not cane corsos, but they're the next breed that are just as big, but
like
they're
a mastiff.
Kind of they're herd animals, and so they're the ones that are on livestock garden dog, he says.
It sounds like alibis.
Something like that, yeah. They're always on high alert. The animals will alert. Either one of the dogs will hear it and send out a signal, and then they all jump into action.
I've seen that.
Quit.
Yeah.
I still want to get my pair of Dobermans though. Some people are telling me don't get brothers. Dogs. Well,
you can have a badly housebroken corgi if you want for a good price.
No, thank you.
You're like, "No, I saw your arm already." No.
Oh, you missed the episode with the windowsill.
Windowsill?
Oh, Hector didn't see that. Oh my gosh.
The dog jumped out the window with the window pane down?
No, I cracked my face off that windowsill behind me. I was trying to pick up Ollie and show him off. And Frank got under my feet and I got tangled up and I was going, "No, no. About the time my face got that close, I went, shit, and it's right off of it. And
you didn't cut yourself, did you?
Oh, I had a real good shiner.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was.
Hobie was doing the whole I wear my sunglasses at night.
Oh, yeah. I was sat on the floor for a little bit, and I was like, I'm okay. You know, I'm going to stay right here because I'm probably going to cry.
You want to hear something? In Arizona, they use donkeys to protect sheep because donkeys don't like wolves or coyotes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of that on my own, but I get you.
Well, it's an old practice because donkeys can eat anything like a sheepdog does. Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Yeah, you have better shiners than I do.
Yeah, like right there. That's like.
Did you dent the wood?
No, I straight cracked my bone on it.
The only shiner I ever got was a punch in the eye.
It was funny because my friend Gutrock said, "You know what? That shows what your character is." I was like, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Well, you didn't toss the dog, and you held on to him."
You didn't call him the dog, did you?
No, I held him so I wouldn't.
Oh my gosh! I would have said if you had fell on him, and then where you were holding him, you could have cracked some ribs.
Yeah, and his legs are so short. And he's old. I thought like he's gonna get hurt. So I just held on to him until like I hit that, and then I just let go of him. So it's like, okay, I hit. I know where I slowed down and was gonna start landing, and like you just go on,
So has anybody here have heard that? Well, any breed. Well, I'm talking about Dobermans. But is it some kind of like rule that you shouldn't have like brothers or sisters, like a pair of brothers and a pair of sisters, at different times? Is that good to have, or
at different times or at the same time?
I've been hearing different things though.
I would say if they're not fixed, then I wouldn't have siblings. But if they were fixed, I think
no. I know if I get two, it'd be two of the same sex.
Yeah,
like I only get Dobermans, the males. So what I would want.
Well, all my grandparents, all the dogs that we had male and females, but we never really kept any of the puppies that we would have litters of.
The Rottweilers, right?
We had boxers, English Pits, Golden Lab, Chocolate Lab, Brown Lab, Black Labs, long-haired looking corgi-like thing. We had so many. An Australian Shepherd. She was old as shit.
So it's not just one breed. You can like speak across.
Yeah, no, we had several breeds. Dude, on a third of an acre in California, in Southern California. Yeah, it's not a lot of area, but it's still fairly large plot because my grandfather got my grandmother a riding and lawnmower so she could do the mow the grass. Mm-hmm. And my grandparents, we'd have to go out to the backyard and scoop dog shit before grandma would mow the grass. We'd take the 50 pound bags of animal feed that we would get because we had, I think we had like 4 geese and 6 ducks. My grandmother had a donkey at one time, a goat. We had like I said, my grandparents were from. My grandmother was from Kansas, so she was used to having animals all around all the time. And But yeah, we had Boston Terriers, Rat Terriers, fucking boxers. We had a Boston Terrier and a boxer that got into fights, and the boxer's legs were just completely scarred from the Boston Terrier because they'd always get into fights. They were both males. What I was saying about the whole what I was saying about the whole having a set of brothers or sisters is that with the brothers, I would say more so than the sisters, is if they were not fixed, then it might be an issue because they're trying to show dominance. Versus,
I was gonna say not having brothers, but just somebody.
I would say that would be more if you had two dogs that were from different litters, and they're both males. I would think that would be it because the alpha dog would come out in one of them. But I mean, that's what I would think. But I've heard some negativity about having two Dobermans of the same litter.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that's got two dogs out of the same litter. Right off the top of my head.
We used to. My dad's dogs were Heinz 57 Mutt and a wolf dog hybrid, and they had their first and only litter was 11 pups. Out of the 11 that were born, maybe I would say maybe 3 are still alive. And we
is it because they went after each other?
Originally, no. So the one that I wanted to keep, that I named Tank, about 6 months after we gave him away, my dad tells me that Tank was no longer with us, and I asked him, I said, why? How? And he goes, Parvo. The people that took him never got him treated, and he contracted Parvo. He was going to be a gorgeous fucking dog. We kept 2 of the females. We thought one of the females had gotten into the fight with Mama Dog. And come to find out, after my dad took the Mama Dog to the vet, that one of our neighbors down the road had shot our dog with a broad-tipped 4-point arrowhead.
Oh shit!
Arrow. Not only did they fucking do that, but they broke it off in our dog's nose.
Huh?
It was like maybe a 1/8 of an inch from our eyeball. Because they went in and they were starting to pull fragments out of her nose, and they were carbon fiber fragments.
That pisses me off.
You know, I just can't see harming dogs or cats. But, I mean, I might not like cats, but harming a dog?
America says that they're running a few pairs out there where he's at from the same litter. So
he's cool with it?
Yeah. I'd say do it if you want to do it.
Well, because I'm gonna train mine. I mean, I've always trained all my Dobermans not to run away, to stay on the leash. You're not pull on the leash. Not jump on people. Stay within the boundaries.
You trained them properly.
Yeah, because I didn't want to. For one thing, if they're dogs like Dobermans and they got a bad reputation as it is, they're being vicious, but they're not.
Uh-oh.
Somebody
down there, Frankie.
Ouch.
Of course. Oh, exactly.
I heard feet running.
Yeah, he's a booty head. He ripped the lining, a little bit of it, out of one of my Ugg boots tonight. I don't even know how he got in the closet. The door was shut. It's weird.
You'd be surprised at how smart dogs can be.
Oh, he was sitting there staring at me like, what are you going to do? He come with the dry erase markers.
I'm not solving that yet, Mama. We're not playing that game.
He's still marking everything. I swear, I cleaned up like 9 spots tonight. He's like,
that's a dog for you.
And he did it right in front of this cabinet over there. I was sitting right here and I heard, and I looked over and I was like, no!
Well, isn't that the same thing like when cats are neutered, they're not supposed to spray?
That's true.
I've seen that.
So I think it's my fault because what I'm thinking is the cat had separation anxiety because when I had Johnny Cash, that definitely happened with him and Scott. And then our vet even said, your dog has psychosomatic symptoms. I swear, I'll have to go back on my Facebook and find it because that's been so long ago. That's been like 9 years ago. But I took this, like I, kind of just propped the phone up and I was sitting in the floor with him and I like touched his side here and he was like, and then I went and like just touched him again and then went back to that spot and he didn't do anything. And then I touched somewhere else and then he went, there. And I showed that, to people on Facebook. I'm like, what is this? I was like, because I know he's not hurt. And I mean, none of them had the right answer. And then when I took him to the vet, she's like, he's got psychosomatic symptoms because of separation anxiety from your husband. And so that's what I was like, okay, it only took us 9 years to finally get him on happy pills, and then we actually upped it to Prozac.
Oh man.
Yeah. So the dog was on Prozac for a good couple of years. But I tell her, it's like, from, Southern Illinois, driving down to like Alabama, Georgia, somewhere like that. And that was just when it was him by himself, not any other dog, because it didn't have the other dogs yet. And I'd have him in the back seat, back and forth to the windows, barking. And like 6 hours. I'm like, how are you not tired? He wouldn't even lay down and look around.
Because he was waiting for master.
Nuts. But yeah, you're right. But he was smart, but it was just when it came to like, what are we doing?
What's up, Dave?
Uh-oh. You don't even know. And he threw the beach ball in with it. Dave, thanks for the hot tub shot the other day in chat. By the way. Like my neck hurts so bad right now. Like, I want a hot tub. You don't even know.
But
yeah.
Yeah, we used to feed that goat like everything. We'd when we were taking the geese feed back and tearing off tearing the paper from the bag and just feeding it to the goat. My grandma's like, quit doing that.
I don't think goats care.
No, they don't. Well, grandma did.
Oh, I'm sure. He's like, no, don't do that.
Well, the where the goat was pinned up in, there was a mulberry tree.
Ooh, that's not good. Those are like poisonous, aren't they?
No. These are kind of like raspberries, but they actually were like
a really dark purple. Yeah.
Yeah. And but yeah, that was the same tree that my cousin had fallen out of fallen when he was climbing, and there was a stub of a branch where he fell, and he has a backwards C scar in his lower back from when he fell onto this stub. My grandma, me, it was my uncle driving, my grandmother with my cousin laid across his back, me, my brother, and my cousin's brother in the back seat, and we rushed him to the hospital that his mom worked at. And she comes running up the stairs, and the first word out of her mouth was not "how bad was it" or "is he okay?" Or the first words were, "What the fuck did he do now?" Ovi, I'm talking. It was probably the stump was probably about, I don't know, 2.5, 3 inches tall.
Yeah,
so it dug into his back that deep. And it was just like a flopping chunk of meat and flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the same one has broken both his arms and both his legs twice. I own one of the arms.
Wait, what? You own one of the arms?
Yeah, when we were in third grade, we were at a private school out in Riverside, California, and we had a 20-foot metal slide back before,
I had
plastic slide. Yeah.
Oh no, my dad made it.
He was taking chapstick and putting it on the slide, and I thought he was trying to hurt me, so I turned around and grabbed the handles and did a full kick and watched him fall 20 feet to the ground and break his arm. So yeah,
I had a friend that leaned over the side of the slide. She didn't break her arm, but yeah, she.
My cousin broke his arm. I got my ass whooped for that.
I'm surprised I didn't.
But yeah, I've told people I own an arm and a leg. I've got no broken bones, but I own 2.
Do you remember there was a sandbox that looked like a turtle, and then the shell was like the cover you put on the sandbox? It had like the 2 pegs, so you put it on there.
Yeah.
So one day, my friend Katie and I decided, hey, we're going to take the turtle shell and drag it up the stair side of my playhouse, because it was like a gazebo, but it was 2 stories. Like, you go upstairs, and I was probably a good 20 foot. And then set it down on the slide and ride that down the slide. So
that good.
Nobody got hurt. I'll start with that. I scared the crap out of my friend Katie because I was holding on to it, and she was sitting in it because she crawled up the slide and was like pushing it farther up because I was kind of like losing grip on it. And she's like, "Oh, I'll push up there farther for when we start." And then she put her foot in it, and thank goodness, like, she didn't fall off sides. But so she just sat down the rest of it because, like, you could hear my fingernails. They just went, and I was like, ah. And then so she rode that thing backwards down the slide, and at least it, like, the slide had, the little. It wasn't just straight up. So there was a tree that was kind of like cattywampus off to the bottom of it. So of course it bounced off the tree, and then it just spun around. It was facing right back towards me, and she just, probably like 2nd grade, she was, "You bitch." And we didn't talk like that, so I was like, "Oh, I like." Yeah. There's no way. I'm sorry.
If we said those words, we got our asses whooped.
Oh, we got in trouble for the what is it? Like, I had one of the speaking spells, and what was it, like the math one too, like the Texas Instrument one. But on the speaking spell, you could put words into it and then hit the button, and it would like turn it into a code. So we'd set up in the playhouse, and this. Matter of fact, I still had the same paper. It was that heart-shaped paper. And we'd like write out what the cuss word was and then what the letters were to do it. So we were like, yeah, we could put the letters in and turn it around the other way and the cuss word will show up. And my mom found it in the drawer and we were like if one of us got grounded for something, like it went for her house and my house because like we're always in cahoots.
That's not me and my cousin.
We're so bad. You know, like kids nowadays, it's like, man, that was like a drop in the ocean, you know? We're like, we're sorry. Can we still have weekend sleepovers?
Hey, I'm going to go back to sleep. I just got up to go to the bathroom, so I just wanted to come up and say hi.
Right. I just flipped and saw that in the private chat. I was going to say, I hope you were waiting too long.
Well, that Stephen Drubby had me up until after 3 or 4. Dog woke me up because he needed to go out, so, and you know, it's every 2 hours with him anymore. It drives me crazy. But that's my body. So, you all have a good, blessed night and have a blessed rest of the week.
You too. Thanks for hanging out. Bye. I hope you get some good sleep.
But yeah, me and my cousins and my brother, we weren't referred to our names. We were referred to as the 4 Holy Terrors.
Mm-hmm.
And we lived up to that name.
Like my demon boy lives up to his name.
Yep. Oh man, we were full on demons. People were like, they're so good. And my grandparents are like, you don't know.
When did you see them?
Yeah. But yeah, it was.
I kind of
life back then was a lot different.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. What are you gonna say?
Oh, I was still hanging on to the mulberry bush thing. I was like thinking you couldn't like just eat them off of the bush because they would like tear your stomach up or something.
This is a tree. This is a mulberry tree.
Don't you hear the song? Here we go round the mulberry bush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I could be wrong about the name, but that's what I was told when I was a kid. It was a mulberry. But
I'm not really sure. That's why I was like still kind of fixated
would pick
on
those
it. Like,
berries off that tree when they were nice and dark purple and.
Yeah, because I remember it says like they could be 40 foot tall. Like, what the heck was I looking at then? I don't know. I'll have to ask my mommy.
But yeah, it was.
That's all I got. See,
I'm done. Hopefully things get settled here soon. Hopefully hear about.
Well, hey, maybe your bad luck's going to be over since mine started.
Yeah.
It did.
We all got to take turns.
Where did it go?
Well,
she went back to bed.
Yeah.
I'm still wondering about the Doberman thing. I think I'm gonna go for the same litter. I'm gonna go for the same litter. Probably a middle one.
Go with your gut, Hector.
Huh?
Go with your gut, bro.
Yep.
Yeah,
go with your gut.
I even got a potty place for them to go. Figure it out.
I would like to have a dog again, but that's nowhere in the near future.
I haven't seen a lot of people all over with them, but a lot of them don't know how to take care of a dog.
True. Well, I don't have a place and the proper, faculties to be able to house a dog, and it shocks me how a lot of homeless will have, animals or like a cat or a dog, and I'm like,
yeah, but they don't work.
Exactly.
And you work, and what are you gonna leave them? Where are you gonna leave them for a while?
Yeah. So.
That's been my excuse. I'm like, quit buying dogs and having multiples of them in the house because somebody's got to teach them how to act. Like, I couldn't leave Triumph at home alone more than 4 hours. And Scott refused to crate him. And I was like, yeah, the biggest dog I'm ever going to encounter, in my life to take care of. And you're like, no, I don't want to crate. Like, what are you scared of? But you can tell I spent the most time trying to train him because I was the most worried about getting him to behave because he was so big. I couldn't just have him on a leash, jerk at it and be like, hey, knock it off. And I had the weight advantage because obviously I didn't with him.
Yeah.
Well, dogs that are trained are better behaved and they're less of a liability too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, heck, I think I told you guys about that neighbor I had. It was 4 or 5 houses up from me that he would notice what time. And between the 3 dogs, then I never took Triumph first because he was pretty patient. I would take longer with him because he was bigger and I'd take him on a longer walk. But that neighbor, every time, he's got his shit sees out in the boulevard and just trying to bait Triumph. And yeah, he only drugged me down the hill once or twice. I mean, it's not a big hill, but just a lump where there's a few steps cut out in the grass. And it was like, you loser. Why do you do this to me?
Because they're fucking they want to try to sue someone. They want their animal to be hurt and then sue you for your dog being a vicious dog. And I'm like, you're the worst type of fucking pet owner.
Well, I told you at the time he got out the front door and it was my fault. And you chased the post office, the mail carrier over a block over, and most of our houses had the screened-in porches on the front. So she was in there, and that's what Johnny Cash turned into a bloodhound that day. He did, I could tell he was following Triumph's scent because he never went up in anybody else's yard, and he was all about it. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's where he went. And sure enough, he led me right to where Triumph was, and the mail lady was in there, and I was like, I'm sorry, and threw a leash on him and drug him back home as quick as I could and put him in a crate because I finally said, we're getting a crate. And sure enough, city guys were knocking on my front door and they're like, do you have a really big dog? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, where is it? And I opened the door wider and pointed right behind me, across the room. And I said, oh, he's right there. I knew it's not going to be that easy. And then the mail carrier pulls up in her truck behind him, and then she's standing there. And I told her, I was like, I am so sorry. And it was it was my fault because I was filling the hot tub up, with more water, and we had a water hose spigot in the front, and I, couldn't close both doors because the hose being in there. Yeah. And yeah, I walked in that room and fill it up, and then when I was like, oh yeah, it's time to turn it off, no Triumph. And I was like, fuck, oh no. This is bad. Yeah, that's what all I knew to do is okay, Johnny's gonna go find him because the dog was just inherently smart, I'm going to tell you, and you're going to understand what the power of your corgi mind. And it worked. Yeah.
My last Doberman, he was such a, I call him a wuss, but I got used to calling him when people see him as, oh, it's a vicious dog. No, it's not. I said, why? Well, because he's such a softie in the house. I mean, if it's too cold, he's shaking. If it's too hot, he starts panting really, and he wants to get somewhere it's cold. One time, he was just laying on like between the couches, and we're looking at him. And then he notices that we're looking at him, and then he puts his head up with his ears down. Looks like he's sad, like, give me a treat. And my wife gives him a treat, and he gets all puffed up and everything. I said, "Man, you're such a Doberwoman." That's what I called it. And I came up with that name, and I said, he was just such a. I used to call him Sisbo, but his name was TJ. And,
that's cute.
You know what he used to do also would really, if not embarrass me by going, you guys got that dog had some guts. He always put his nose between women's legs. I don't know why he did it, but man, I had to stop him from doing that because every time we went somewhere, if I walked downtown or I saw somebody and she's
checking their mood.
Oh my God! I said, you got some guts doing that.
Well, I know when you told me that, I told you about the German Shepherd we had that whenever you get out of the car, it was like it never failed in the summertime. Be all human sticky out, and he had that cold butt nose, and he get you right on the back, and you're fine. You're like, you could see him in the dark, like unlock the door. Like,
I remember
in a former life,
I think I grossed out one of the ladies one time because he had a I don't know, they call it running eyes when they have a little bit too much of mucus being developed. But one time he did that to a lady from behind, and then you can see these two wet spots on her thighs.
Oh no!
Oh yes.
Awkward.
Let's see, what time is it? I need to go to sleep.
4:21.
It's 4:21 for
us.
West Coast. Yeah.
It's 6:30.
I don't care. Right. Anyway.
Well, I'm glad I cheered you up a little bit on that dog story.
Right.
I'm gonna have to be a good dog mom because Frank's over here trying to tear up things because apparently there's something under there that he wants, and making sure he's being real loud about it so I know that he's looking for it.
Oh, who's?
Yeah, he's like, there's something I want. Get it.
The fun new toy balls are out. I don't know what he thinks is under there. I mean, there's something under there because he wouldn't just do that. And now he's probably going to go pee on something because I ignored him doing
that. He's like, I'm going to get your attention one way or another.
Stood right there. And the cabinet right there earlier, and I heard, and I looked over and was like, no, we're not doing that.
What's up, Pink Moon?
Hey, Pink, what's up?
Well, guys, it was nice talking to you guys. It's time for me to go Mimi's.
All right,
tomorrow I don't want to get up early, but I still try to maintain at 8 o'clock if I don't work tomorrow. I always try to get up at 8. So you guys take care of yourselves, and I will tell you my adventures of my coin thing next week.
Good. I hope some cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's found by you.
Especially if well, I don't know if it's going to go to $45 this year, maybe next year, but man.
Hi-ho silver?
Yeah, hi-ho.
Yep.
Okay, guys.
All right.
Buenas noches, and I'll talk to you guys later. Good night.
All right. Buenas noches, Hector. Thanks for coming up. I appreciate
Thanks for having me. See you later, Zach. See everybody else. Bye.
Oh, dang, I forgot. Pink was going camping.
And read the next one.
I know. I was like, uh-oh, you heard it here first. I'm going to have some sad guys over in the mob tomorrow night.
Congrats, Moon.
Definitely. If you're happy, I am happy. Because you deserve to be happy. And that's what I say. So it should be. Oh, you're welcome. From both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you deserve it.
I hope to one day find someone, but it ain't gonna be anytime soon.
Well, life is
too porn.
A crazy map to navigate. I'll say that much. Oh, yeah. I was going to yap at you after we got done talking on the panel. And I'm not camping. But see, you stuck it out and you put up with some dumbasses, and now that you're off the market, I hope you're going to be a happy off the market girl. I'm excited.
Yeah, I can say the same thing with the ladies. My track record has been kind of psycho-ish.
Or you could just be a dumbass doormat like me, and then finally decide that you're done being a doormat. You never know.
Oh, I've done been doormat. Yeah. I've been done being a doormat for quite a fucking long while.
See, Pink, life is complicated. And I'm just saying that because I'm old. Let's see. That sucks.
Yeah, well, I get used and abused for the wrong fucking reasons, either for the money or the fucking mental fucking bullshit. I'm like, I'm good. I'm not going down that road. That's the best thing, girl. That's the best thing. If you're happy with yourself and with who you're with, that's all that matters. Fuck everybody else.
Yeah. And it's not selfish to take care of yourself first and think about what's best for you.
Agreed, but that.
And I feel the same way about you, Pink, for sure. I mean, Pink's had her, loss and crappy times. We've all been there. It's just kind of what, I don't know. I'm not even talking about it. I don't feel like it. My opinion is kind of ow, my back hurts. There, excuse, diverted.
No.
But no, Pink, love you, girl. I'm glad you're happy. Well, see, if it was a fairy tale, then it wouldn't be reality. It'd be a fairy tale. Ta-da!
No.
You hear that? That's a mean little dog banging a cabinet.
Yeah. Well, what'd you kick underneath the cabinet for him that he can't read?
I got 2 of his little disco balls out from underneath there, and he shoved something else back. No, actually, they're both right here on the floor. I don't know what he's looking for.
That's great, Pink.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
girl.
yeah, I have to end this because I think they are kind of attention starved today. Because, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's right there. The last one she just posted. That's one thing that I want, but it ain't gonna happen anytime soon. What's up, Shrapnel?
God dang you, Shrapnel. I was wearing down and gonna leave. And then you were like, oh, what happened?
True, Pink. I agree. But, you know, I've been told, don't look for it. It'll come when it comes.
I've said that to you.
Yeah. Several of you ladies have said that to me, and I'm not.
See, I thought that was guy theory because I've had guys tell me that. I was like, oh, big dork. You know, and they're like, you're not going to find it if you're looking for it. Quit looking. And that generally worked, which is like all of.
Hopefully it was it's gonna be a better day that you're home, Shrapnel.
Shrapnel.
You just got home.
Well, Pink, I'm glad you shared the good news.
Go ahead, enjoy that nap, girl.
Exactly.
We'll see you around. What? No, I'm just like everybody says, I'm just focusing on me and trying to get my situation better.
You dumbass. We know. If I didn't know you did, I would assume you do.
Hey, bro, that's all good, man. We fully understand. That's why I want to be back in the tech field because I enjoy playing with computers. Okay,
Shrapnel. So I'm asking from us having an old mutual friend. Did they take samples from you, and do you eat popcorn kernels before the sample?
Oh God.
He knows what I'm saying.
We'll see what the response is going to be.
If he doesn't, I'll explain it. So.
Oh, I already know what you're talking about.
Oh, you do know? Oh, I was going to say, yeah. See, that's what always messes me up is like, you didn't come into like the coin friend group at the same time. It was just like, we're like, here, come in here. You know? That's the answer I was looking for. So that's a maybe.
He's not gonna divulge his
training. I mean, I wouldn't admit to eating corn kernels either. No proof. No proof. It still matters.
Deny.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, Shrapnel, you get off work at like flipping 4 in the morning?
Some of us have to work third shift, woman.
Most people I know that work third shift would be at like 5:30 or 7 a.m. Yeah.
No, some of them are like, some get off at like 2, some get off at like 4, some get off at like 6. All depends on where you're at.
Be on first shift then. That would be like horrible.
He says 7 a.m.
Oh, crud. I thought you were out on the disgusting end of the U.S. My bad.
Hi.
What?
Wait till I actually have a vehicle. I'm gonna prove you motherfuckers wrong about fucking California and the West Coast.
Oh, I just had him in the wrong time zone altogether, so that's what happened. That's what happened.
So he does the 12-hour swing shifts, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Or to 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. It all depends. Yeah, I've been on those shifts before. They ain't fun, but gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that pretty soon, I think. Oh yeah, you're up and freaking like everybody but Zach, my coin buddy group.
Yeah, I'm the only West Coast connector.
Well, and Hector was here. I can't say that. Yeah.
Hector's the only one of the West Coast connectors.
Yeah, otherwise everybody's the Michiganders. Dang, I guess I will be going for John's birthday in January.
What's you know who that is, right?
I think I do.
Damn it, woman.
Good morning, Rhonda. Good morning, Stinky.
Hey, if you do shrapnel, let us know.
Right. I at least want to know he has appropriate, not to the knee high socks. Stocking stuffers are a must. That's what friends are for.
Yeah, I seen you live and I was like, whoa, Hoobie's live. Let's see what's going on over here.
Oh, I didn't say that. I know. Oh, so here's what happened. You know how I was all like, oh, the StreamYard price changed and it's like $44 last month.
Yeah.
And then I was still on the $10 thing. They didn't say, hey, you're $10 over. And then now it's going to start being $44. And then I tried to, I was like, oh, no. So I just typed you. I was like, no, I can't even afford that. I don't use it enough to even give a shit.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they, so there was, well, after the first month, then you can't do it unless you get a support ticket. So nobody knows and they don't want to pay that much and they charge a card, tell them where's my support ticket. So they sent me the email with my support ticket. And then bam, it was like 3 days later, which because I didn't expect that, it was back in the account. And I was like, what's that? You know. Because I got my alerts on for like any transactions. So yeah. And I was like, oh, I think they tried to refund me twice. So I was like, that's cooler. I don't know if it happened because one was pending. I was like, oh, like me, that'd be all right. I don't think I get that lucky. But,
right.
Yeah.
Oh. Hopefully you don't do another sleep stream.
You mean saw some logs for everyone?
Bro, I didn't. I was down in chat the other day, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's her snoring. She fell fucking asleep real fucking quick." I'm like, "I gotta come back up." Like, Hobie, get your ass up, go to fucking bed. Do not sleep in the fucking chair.
Was it like 2 days ago? Whoa.
What?
Wait, what's today? Today's. I'm so confused. Okay, like, no, the account shit's not going in the right order. No, I got a pending charge from Stream. It's like $0 because when I saw that they did the refund twice, I was like, the first I was like, transferring into another account. But there wasn't 2 on there, so like I don't know what happened for sure. I don't know if they tried to do both of my email accounts because I had yeah.
Yeah.
Shrapnel, you don't like my snoring. I find it very intrusive to sleep. But if I were anybody else, but I sleep so hard, obviously. You know what happened after I didn't have my power off for those 2 weeks? I was like drooling, like excessively when I was sleeping. I don't know why.
I do that too.
But it just started when I didn't have them for those couple of weeks. It was like I would have dreams like that I was like spitting in my sleep and I'd wake up like, what the hell is that? Not happy.
Last I had some fairly doozy ones recently. Full on, like my dreams are like full on astral projected style dreams, and yeah, I was not a happy man in either one of them.
Shrapnel, did you ever see my Rottweiler snores louder than me? Like when my hair was about that long for a while. That one actually did good for a minute. I think it was a combo of me having like crazy short hair, laying in bed, and a big old dog snoot next to my head. That was what happened for sure. Face. I'm so proud of myself that Monkey King, I already know you know. This is what happens when you hang out around people too long. It's like you just real words anymore. You're just like, this is the quickest way to convey what I'm saying because there's people that already know exactly the way to take it and what it means.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, shrapnel. Well, I guess I'm going to get off of here and take Zach with me before I start snoring because I'm really tired. I've been up since noon. Wow. 11:45. Anyway, who's counting? You know what? For Monkey King not being over there, I think he's picked it up. I'm pretty sure.
There's a few of them that I had hard times understanding, but yeah, I can grasp some of it.
Yeah. I still wish that stuff was up because Shrapnel and I need our dose of bones. And the, All right, we're out of here. Good night. Much love.